Back at the stilted house, Riggs and Murtaugh are joined by others from their squad and they come upon men removing boxes from the house. The police order the men to stop. Rudd and Peter appear and demand that the police leave the premises, as it's considered South African property, given that he's the Minister of Diplomatic Affairs for the South African Consulate in Los Angeles. He shows them the documentation. When Riggs asks Peter his name, Riggs doesn't quite understand and says, "I'll just call you Adolf." Rudd asserts that he and his people are immune from U.S. laws, via the Diplomatic Relations Act, and may not be detained for questioning and certainly not arrested. Riggs calls Rudd a dickhead. Rudd tells Riggs that if he tries anything, then he'll have to deal with the U.S. Department of State, and then they'd see, who is the dickhead now, hey? Vorstedt seems a bit taken back when Murtaugh orders Riggs by name to remain calm, as if he knows him. A beautiful woman, Rika van den Haas, Patsy Kensit, drives up as Riggs and the other police are leaving. Riggs opens the door for her and she drops a briefcase as she's getting out. She and Riggs bump heads as they both bend to pick up the briefcase. She's Rudd's secretary and is bringing the briefcase to him. Riggs is immediately attracted to her and begins flirting with her. She is obviously attracted to him as well. Riggs and Murtaugh are making their case with Captain Murphy, who is not happy that he's going to have to personally apologize Rudd for the violation of his diplomatic status. Riggs and Murtaugh try to convince the captain that Rudd and his henchmen are practicing a new version of the triangle trade. What used to be molasses to rum to slaves, is now drugs to dollars to Krugerrands. The captain is further infuriated when he meets Leo and learns he's been running around on the case with Riggs and Murtaugh. Murtaugh approaches his desk, and finds a small tree made out of condoms sitting on it. He lets out a loud moan and everyone in the room breaks up laughing. After a few seconds, Murtaugh can't help but laugh himself. Rudd and his men take Rika home to her apartment and as they are dropping her off, Rudd attempts to explain to her that the black policemen in Los Angeles do not like South African whites because of the policies and conditions in South Africa. He appears to be trying to woo her and doesn't want her to find reasons not to like him. As he returns to his car, Rudd tells his men that because things are getting out of hand with the police, he wants to move the cash they have on hand in one large shipment. Riggs, Murtaugh and Leo go through a Subway sandwich shop drive-thru. Leo ends up with a tuna sandwich, and isn't happy about it. He refuses to eat it, then he decides the people at Subway screwed up the order, so he starts ranting about how they should never go to a drive-thru because the employees know they will never see you again and they fuck you over. Murtaugh spots Riggs from an upper deck. Riggs acknowledges he's okay when Rudd suddenly appears up on deck and shoots down at Riggs, hitting him 2 to 3 times. Roger then calls out to Rudd to drop his weapon. Rudd holds up his South African diplomatic ID and reminds Roger that he has diplomatic immunity. Roger pauses a moment, then shoots Rudd through the forehead, saying, "It's just been revoked." Murtaugh hurries down the ladder and over to Riggs, fearing he was dead. Roger starts yelling out, "Breathe, Riggs, you're not dead until I say you're dead." Surprisingly, Riggs moves and he asks Murtaugh to reach into his pocket and get his cigarettes. Once Murtaugh has the pack of cigarettes, Riggs asks him to throw them away, saying, "Those things will kill ya." Riggs wonders about Rudd and the others. Murtaugh tells him the bad guys have been decaffeinated. The two of them break up laughing, Riggs complaining that laughing hurts. Sirens can be heard in the background. Riggs looks deep into Murtaugh's eyes and tells him, "You really are a beautiful man. Give us a kiss before they come." The two buddies keep laughing and joke as the story ends.